Hello kittens, welcome back. This is Seb the Cat. So today is Tuesday, and Tuesdays we do game development, and we are working on a split-screen multiplayer game using the Godot engine. We previously were working on a very similar game, which I'm calling Drifters, and that's meant to be a networked multiplayer game. However, I saw the opportunity to branch off into something which is going to have a little less engineering involved, and it will allow us to publish a bit sooner. So over the weekend I was tweaking some of the mechanics and getting together a prototype for a split screen mode, and that will save us having to build the network side of things first, and we should be able to verify some of the gameplay elements using just split screen. So let's head back over to Godot, and I will show you where we're at right now. So at the moment we now have a split screen for 2 players, and the entire game control system has been simplified to be just three inputs. So we have a left, shoot, and right button. These need to be flipped around for the other player, but it's fine for now. And I've tried to update the mechanics to be a little bit simplified, but in the process I've managed to introduce a sort of slide mechanic, and I think that works quite well. So you've got essentially your 2 engines, and then you've got a sort of overdrive meter in the middle. So if you push both engines at once, you sort of propel in a straight line. But if you let go of one, you start to turn. But as you turn, you build up overdrive, and then when you turn the second engine on, you get a boost. And so that actually can create, I found, quite a fun mechanic. There's also, if you let go of both buttons, there's a sort of dampening, so you can sort of skid and spin around corners. And I find the overdrive system really quite fun to play with. So that's the core mechanic. You can see that as overdrive builds up, when I re-engage my second engine, overdrive gets cut in half or so when you collide with the wall. But as you can see, if I drag that overdrive meter, so that's the little black bar in the middle of the player, as that increases, when I reactivate my second engine, we go from blue to green to red, which simulates the 3 different levels of overdrive. Sort of like a 3-level boost you might be familiar with in games like CTR. And then what other mechanics are in place? Well, so like if you don't touch any engines for a while, you'll slowly lose your overdrive. I implemented this, originally I thought, well, if you turn both engines off, you'd lose your overdrive straight away, but I kind of like being able to let go of both engines and sort of spin on the spot. It's quite a fun mechanic. And as you can see, like running into something just sort of bounces you about quite a bit. And the main reason for that is there's no reverse in this game, so it's quite frustrating not to be bounced back. So it's sort of the better of 2 evils here. Cool. So the next thing I'm wanting to implement is a item collection system, and I might put a progress bar in between the 2 players. So as you collect the stars, essentially it's the first person to collect a majority of stars wins the level. And I think we will implement that this afternoon. Then once we've got that sort of core mechanic working, we will add weapon pickups and then update the art style, because the art style right now is a little lackluster, and I'm fully aware that it looks like we're driving a condom with engines on it. So it's an unfortunate sprite, to say the least. Maybe that's a marketing ploy to rename the game Condom Races. You know what? Don't put it past me, because I'm seriously considering making a game about condoms. So cool. That's where we are. Let's get started. As always, if you've got any questions, just fire them away in the chat. We have a Discord channel for questions outside of the stream. If you're a game developer working on a side project and you want a little bit of help from fellow developers, don't be afraid to join that Discord channel and ask questions. That's what it's for. There's a Twitter channel to be updated about when we go live streaming, and there's a YouTube channel as well where I'm posting highlights from each stream. If you don't quite have the time to follow, the whole stream, there are highlights going up almost every day, so check that out as well. Cool. Alright, so let's get started. I guess we need some UI, so this is sort of how I've set up the main scene. So we've got a viewport container, which I might, I'll just leave that. So that's like where we evenly split our viewports. Then we've got, those are actually viewport containers, I've misnamed them. So we've got two viewport containers of equal width, and then we've got a left viewport, a right viewport. We've got a left camera and a right camera, which each follows each player respectively. And then we have one instance of the world, and the world right now is then getting copied into the other viewport via code. Then we have an overlay container, which I might just call that overlay container, and this is how we overlay the controls onto each screen. And I think what I want to do is I want to add a vertical separator, like in between those two. Actually, maybe not even a vertical separator. I think we might want a horizontal box container. Let's have a look. Horizontal, no, vertical box. VBox, that's right. VBox container, right? So I'm going to put the VBox container in the middle of the left and right viewports, and I'm just going to set a width. Should we set like 20? Is that too much? Cool. And then we want the anchor, I believe. No, grow direction. So we want to grow horizontally on both sides. No, vertically on both sides. Hold on, let me get my head around this again. So okay, so it is offsetting those two slightly. Okay, but that's just not really wide enough. So select 50. And we just need to put some stuff in here. So what do we want? We kind of want, I guess it's just a label really. Right, so we just have a label here, which is P1, P1 score, and let's just save this as a scene because we're going to reuse it. So I'm going to create a new folder and just say like GUI, and this can be the and we'll call this a score underscore label. Okay, and then we jump into this label. We sort of want it to be. We've got to give it like a size. Let's give it like a 20 maybe. So the size, in fact, the size won't really matter a whole lot. Well, the vertical might. Sorry, the X value might. But the vertical won't because it will be determined by the vertical box. So then let's give like 50. Screw it, maybe even bigger. Okay. Alright, so this is like kind of what it's going to look like, which is empty at the moment. Try and get a custom styles. So I think we want a flat box, and the VG color, let's just make it like red for now. And then in the text we will put 0 to begin with, right? And that is going to be way too small, but okay, so we want to align center and center. So I think maybe we want to keep the label separate from the rest of the object. That's fine, we'll figure it out later. But that text is going to be too small, so let's just update the text. On custom font, and we'll just say actually no, we don't need that, sorry. And the size, okay, we'll put it up to about 32, I think. Might be too small, sorry, too big for the container. Maybe we don't even need to worry about the text just now. Alright. So I think that's going to be too large, so 100. It's probably big enough. Okay, so we've got one score label like so, and then if we go back to our main scene, you can see we've got our score label, and we want to just set that size flag to expand vertically and fill vertically. I don't think we need to shrink center. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this node, and that is going to be